This is the Pantanal, where life and death are separated by only a moment. Here, even predators can become prey. Welcome to the land of the dominant Pantanal, land of the dominant. Pantanal, a land where the sky is never still. This is one of the largest bird paradises on the planet, where hundreds of species coexist, from majestic predators to migrating flocks that blanket the horizon. Each year, when waters rise during the rainy season, the Pantanal transforms into a nutrient-rich maze of wetlands, ideal conditions for an explosion of life. Fish reproduce in massive numbers, attracting countless bird species that gather to hunt, nest, and raise their young. Here, each bird species occupies its own niche. Some quietly stalk prey in the water, others glide high above searching for opportunity, and some migrate thousands of kilometers just to reach this land. When the waters recede, fertile mudflats are revealed, continuing to serve as feeding and breeding grounds, keeping the life cycle of bird species uninterrupted. Pantanal is not just a place where birds live, it is where they gather, reproduce, and rule the skies. Within this maze of rivers and shadows, where life converges, predators also arrive. And here there is one that is always present, silent, patient, and nearly invisible. That is the South American jaguar. Unlike its relatives in Africa or Asia, the Pantanal jaguar has evolved to dominate both worlds, land and water. It is one of the few big cats that swims skillfully, ready to plunge into swamps, dive, and chase prey through murky waters. A powerful body, weighing up to 150 kilograms, with the strongest bite force among big cats. But the jaguar does not hunt with brute strength alone, it hunts with precision. Instead of biting the neck like other big cats, the jaguar targets the skull, a rare strategy that allows it to kill its prey in an instant. Its rosette-patterned coat helps it blend into the shifting light and shadow of the forest, turning it into a ghost that is nearly impossible to detect. And above all, it is a master of ambush. In the Pantanal, the jaguar does not need to chase its prey. It waits, observes, calculates. And then the opportunity appears. At the water's edge, a caiman lies motionless under the early sunlight. Its thick skin and familiar environment make it complacent. But it does not know it has already been targeted. From a distance, the jaguar moves closer. Not a sound, not a ripple. Its golden eyes lock onto the target, each step closing the distance. And then everything happens in a single moment. There is no prolonged chase, no second chance. In just a few seconds, it is over. The water gradually returns to stillness as if nothing had ever happened. The jaguar drags its prey onto the shore. In the Pantanal, the jaguar is not just a predator. It is the spirit of this land, an embodiment of power, adaptation, and the absolute silence of nature. After the chaos of the hunt, the Pantanal slowly becomes quiet again. And within that scene, the sky becomes another arena. That is the jabiru, the iconic bird of this land, closely tied to wetland ecosystems and dependent on the rise and fall of water levels. Standing over 1.5 meters tall, with an enormous wingspan, the jabiru is the largest bird in the Pantanal. Its long legs allow it to move easily through shallow waters, while its long, thick and powerful beak is the perfect tool for catching fish, frogs, and even small reptiles. Its bare neck, marked with a distinctive red band of skin, is not only for identification, but also helps regulate body temperature under the harsh heat, an important adaptation for survival in this environment. But the most remarkable trait is its behavior. The jabiru is a master of patience. It can stand still for hours, watching the water, waiting for the perfect moment before delivering a precise strike, a strategy that conserves energy in a constantly changing environment. They build nests on the tallest trees, constructing massive structures that can be used for many years. This behavior reflects strong territorial attachment and a deep reliance on the natural cycles of the Pantanal. The presence of the jabiru is not just an image, it is a sign that this ecosystem is still in balance. And then, across that sky, another color appears. It is the hyacinth macaw, a parrot with brilliant blue plumage. It is one of the largest parrot species in the world. The hyacinth macaw depends closely on the Pantanal ecosystem, especially the forests with manduvi trees, which provide both food and nesting sites. Its brilliant blue plumage makes it stand out against the sky, while its large, curved, and extremely powerful beak allows it to crack hard nuts, its primary food source. But the most remarkable feature lies in its behavior. Hyacinth macaws live in pairs and often bond with a single mate for life. The coordination between the two individuals is crucial for raising offspring in this harsh environment. Each breeding season, the female usually lays 2 eggs. But nature is not generous. Typically, only one chick is strong enough to survive. They nest in cavities of old manduvi trees, a resource that is becoming increasingly scarce. The hyacinth macaw is not just a beautiful bird. It is also a seed disperser, spreading seeds and helping maintain the forests of the Pantanal. Dusk gradually falls over the Pantanal. By the riverbank, a group of capybaras gathers. They are gentle creatures, living in groups to increase their chances of detecting danger. Their small ears constantly twitch, their eyes always watching. But thirst forces them to move closer. One separates from the group, slowly lowering its head toward the water. It does not know that just beneath, a predator is waiting. It is an anaconda. Its massive body lies completely hidden beneath the murky water. As the distance slowly closes, a sudden attack occurs. The capybara struggles, but it is too late. The water gradually returns to stillness. The final ripples fade away, as if no struggle had ever taken place. The capybara's body becomes motionless, and the anaconda begins to drag its prey into deeper water. No haste, no wasted energy. Everything unfolds slowly, but with certainty. That is its way. The anaconda does not need speed. It was born to wait. With a length that can exceed 6 meters and a body weighing hundreds of kilograms, the anaconda is one of the largest snakes on the planet. But instead of chasing prey, it relies on ambush, a perfect strategy in the murky and dense environment of the Pantanal. Its eyes and nostrils positioned on top of its head allow it to observe and breathe while almost its entire body remains submerged. In a world where visibility is limited, it does not need to see clearly, it senses. Highly sensitive receptors enable it to detect even the slightest vibrations from prey. And once it has captured its target, the anaconda's body structure unleashes its full power. Its jaws are not rigidly fixed, like many other species. Flexible ligaments allow it to expand its mouth remarkably wide, swallowing prey larger than its own head. This process can take hours, but once completed, it does not need to hunt again for weeks, even months. An energy-saving strategy perfectly suited to this harsh environment. When the breeding season arrives, the Pantanal witnesses a strange phenomenon. Multiple males coil around a single female, forming a massive living ball. In that silent competition, only the most persistent will have the chance to pass on their genes. In the Pantanal, the anaconda does not need to be fast. It does not need to be loud. It only needs patience and to tighten its grip at the right moment. In another stretch of river in the Pantanal, the water appears calm. But with closer observation, small movements begin to emerge. A school of fish is gathering. Piranhas. Silver bodies move in unison beneath the murky water. No chaos, no haste, just precise coordination. Their name is associated with fear, razor-sharp teeth, but the truth is different. Piranhas are not mindless killers. They live in groups to both hunt efficiently and protect themselves. Their compact bodies and sharp teeth allow them to cut prey quickly and precisely. But most of the time, they do not hunt healthy prey. They are the cleaners of the river, feeding on carcasses, feeding on weakened creatures, keeping the water clean and balanced. An extremely sensitive sense of smell helps them detect even the smallest signals. When necessary, they react quickly, but always with coordination. That is not cruelty. That is the rule of survival. In the Pantanal, every creature has a role. And piranhas, despite being misunderstood, are among the species that keep the river alive. Pantanal is still alive, but no longer intact as before. In recent years, more than 30% of this wetland area has been severely affected by wildfires. In 2020 alone, millions of hectares were burned, one of the largest ecological disasters in the region's history. The Paraguay River, the lifeline of the Pantanal, has recorded its lowest water levels in more than 60 years. Dry seasons are becoming longer and harsher, disrupting natural cycles. When the water is gone, the entire ecosystem begins to falter. Jaguars lose their hunting grounds. Even the wings in the sky grow fewer. But the Pantanal has not disappeared. In many areas, local governments of Brazil, Bolivia, and Paraguay have begun to take action. Protected areas are being expanded, forest restoration and wildfire control programs are being implemented. Water management and restrictions on overexploitation are gradually being strengthened. Conservation organizations and indigenous communities also play a vital role, protecting every patch of forest, every stream, through their deep understanding of this land. It is not a perfect solution, but it is hope. Because the Pantanal is not just a place, it is a living ecosystem. A vast natural balancing system, and a place where every creature, large or small, has its role. The future of the Pantanal does not depend on nature alone. It also depends on us. If we choose to protect it, The roars will continue to echo through the deep forests. Wings will still fill the sky, and the waters will continue to flow. The Pantanal may be fragile, but it has never stopped fighting to survive. In Chobe, one small mistake is enough to ignite violence. One young baboon, one honey badger, and an entire baboon troop about to be dragged into chaos. When solitude clashes with the power of numbers, who truly holds the rules of nature in their hands? Baboons and the honey badger, a battle on the Chobe Plains. Under the 40 degrees Celsius heat of Chobe's dry season, the air over the plains is almost completely still. The grasslands have turned a scorched yellow, and the hardened ground has split into wide cracks after weeks without rain. This is the harshest part of the day. Most animals seek shade to avoid wasting precious energy. Even the most powerful predators are forced to suspend their activity, waiting for the temperature to ease in the late afternoon. On a high granite outcrop overlooking the plains below, a troop of baboons is taking advantage of the heat to rest. This is one of the most complex and successful primate societies in Africa. The troop numbers more than 100 members, spanning several different generations. The adult males, weighing more than 30 kilograms and armed with long, sharp canines, constantly hold lookout positions, while the females and young rest in the center of the group. Thanks to that tight coordination, the troop can respond almost instantly to any danger. But every defense system has its gaps. Among the troop's younger members is Kato, a curious young baboon. To Kato, the world beyond the troop's protective circle feels like an endless adventure. Ahead of him, among the dry leaves, another creature is quietly searching for food. It is a honey badger. Weighing less than 15 kilograms, it is nevertheless famous as one of Africa's most fearless animals. Its thick, loose skin allows it to twist and fight back even when pinned down by an opponent, while its powerful claws are the perfect tools for digging and self-defense. Unlike Cato's restless curiosity, the honey badger seems completely unconcerned with anything around it. Slowly, it turns over layers of dry leaves, constantly sniffing the ground in search of insects and whatever small meals remain in the middle of the brutal dry season. The distance between the two animals grows smaller and smaller. Then, driven by the curiosity of youth, he reaches out and lightly tugs on the honey badger's tail. Startled, the honey badger instantly shifts into a defensive state. Cato's terrified scream echoes across the rocky outcrop. At once, the troop's response is triggered. The baboons surge down from the rocks like a violent wave. And in the end, even the fearless honey badger collapses under the assault of dozens of opponents. The afternoon in Chobe gradually grows quiet again. After the clash with the honey badger, the baboon troop gathers around the food source they have just claimed. The smell of blood from the chaos spreads quickly through the hot, dry air. From an acacia thicket not far away, a spotted hyena appears. Its keen nose has led it here. The spotted hyena is one of Africa's most successful predators. They often hunt in packs and possess incredibly powerful jaws, strong enough to crush even bones and make use of nutrients that many other animals leave behind. But today, this individual is alone. Days of hunger have forced it to take a gamble. It does not rush straight into the middle of the baboon troop. Instead, it quietly circles the troop's feeding area, keeping a safe distance and watching every small movement. It understands exactly what it is facing. A single adult baboon might not be a particularly frightening opponent for a hyena. But an entire troop in an agitated state is a completely different story. Charge in at the wrong moment, and this predator could easily become prey to the crowd in front of it. So it waits patiently. A young individual straying from the group, a moment of carelessness, or even a single escape route left unguarded could become an opportunity. And eventually, that opening appears. While the adults are focused on the food source, Kato once again accidentally wanders beyond the troop's protective circle. The hyena lunges out from the shadows. Panic calls. Instantly erupt across the hillside. Dozens of baboons charge after it at once. Under mounting pressure, the hyena is forced to drop its prey to save itself. The pursuit does not stop, and only seconds later, the predator quickly becomes the hunted. On the dry ground at the foot of the rocky outcrop, the hyena's body is left behind as the final trace of the confrontation that has just unfolded. The baboon troop quickly moves on. A few hours later, white-backed vultures have already begun to appear in the sky. From hundreds of meters above the ground, they can detect carcasses thanks to their sharp eyesight and their ability to follow the activity of other scavengers. Their almost bare heads and stomachs filled with extremely strong acid allow vultures to process carrion quickly while also limiting the spread of disease. Yet in many parts of Africa, vulture numbers are falling sharply. In some areas, more than 90% of the population has disappeared because of poisoning, habitat loss, and chemical residues left in livestock carcasses. One by one, they descend around the hyena's body. They keep their distance, watch one another, and wait for the right moment to begin. As the last light of day softens, the next visitors arrive as well. From the edge of the scrub, a pair of black-backed jackals quietly steps out. Much smaller than hyenas or lions, black-backed jackals do not compete head-on with larger predators. They usually live in pairs or small family groups, relying on agility and opportunism to survive. Not long after, marabou storks arrive as well. With a height that can exceed 1.5 meters and a long, powerful bill, these birds are especially well adapted to making use of whatever scraps remain. Their strong digestive system allows them to handle even decaying pieces of meat that many other species avoid. In Chobe, almost nothing goes to waste. A single carcass can feed many different species in just a few hours, before what remains is further broken down by insects, bacteria, and the dry soil of the plains. They may not be the most prominent predators, but they are the silent sanitation workers that keep this ecosystem running. As the harshest stage of the year begins, water becomes the force that governs every movement across the Chobe Plains. The small pools hidden in the scrub disappear one by one. The grasslands turn a scorched yellow, and the ground cracks into large plates beneath the heat of weeks without rain. Thirst does more than weaken the animals. It pulls them all in the same direction. The Chobe River. Across the dry, burning grass, a group of lionesses move slowly forward, leading cubs that are only a few months old. This is the most vulnerable stage for the pride. Lions are the only big cats that live in stable social groups, and within that society, the females hold the central role, They hunt, defend territory, and raise the next generation together. Giving birth at roughly the same time allows the pride to form a kind of communal nursery, where the mothers take turns nursing, guarding, and protecting one another's cubs. Throughout the long journey in temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius, the cubs are always kept in the middle of the formation, while the adult females spread out around them, constantly watching for unusual movement in the grass and the low scrub. But the lions are not the only residents on the move. From across the plains, herds of wildebeest begin to set out. Their sturdy bodies, high shoulders, and endurance allow them to cover long distances in search of grass and water. Traveling with them are herds of zebras. When the herd moves together, their distinctive black and white stripes can make it harder for predators to focus on a single target in the chaos of the crowd. In another direction, Cape buffalo begin to tighten their formation as well. Weighing close to a ton and armed with thick horns like shields, they are among the most dangerous herbivores in Africa. But in this season of scarcity, their greatest strength lies not only in their size or massive horns, but in their ability to hold formation. When crossing open ground, they cluster into a large defensive mass, keeping the young and weaker animals inside. Towering above them all are the giraffes. As grass on the ground becomes increasingly scarce, their long necks and flexible tongues allow them to reach the fresh shoots high in the acacia canopy, a food source that most other herbivores cannot touch. For African elephants, the greatest challenge lies in memory. Leading the herd is usually an older matriarch, carrying in her mind the old roots and the water sources that once helped the family survive previous droughts. Behind her, the calves are always kept in the center of the formation, while the adult females adjust their pace and shield them with their own enormous bodies. Lower on the plains, bands of mongooses continue tirelessly searching for insects beneath the dry soil, while one individual stands upright on guard duty. Nearby, warthogs use their powerful snouts to dig into the hardened ground for roots and young tubers, taking advantage of every remaining food source before they too must move on. All of them are heading toward the same destination. As the great herds begin to gather along the riverbanks, the area quickly becomes an entirely different world. In the deeper sections of water, hundreds of hippos crowd into an ever-shrinking space. Though their bodies can weigh more than 1.5 tons, they still depend on water to protect their sensitive skin from the scorching sun. During the day, hippos can hardly stay out of the water for long. Only after dark do they come ashore to graze. But beneath the muddy water, ancient predators are still waiting. Nile crocodiles can grow longer than 5 meters and remain almost motionless for hours at a time. They conserve every bit of energy, waiting only for a moment when something comes close enough to the water's edge. In a place where hundreds of animals are forced to lower their heads to drink every day, patience is the most dangerous weapon of all. At the edge of the sparse woodland, the leopard still keeps its distance from the crowd. Its spotted coat allows it to almost dissolve into the shadows of the trees and the scorched grass, while stealth is what enables this solitary predator to survive in a land growing more crowded and more tense by the day. As darkness slowly falls over Chobe, the chaos of the day begins to settle. In Chobe, no species exists by chance. Baboons survive through the strength of the group. Honey badgers endure through sheer fearlessness. Scavengers keep the plains from being overwhelmed by disease. And the herds that return to the river each day are a reminder that in the dry season, life must always move around the most precious thing of all, water. Each species has its own strategy. Each species has its own limits. But all of them play a part in keeping the cycle of Chobe in motion. And perhaps it is in places as unforgiving as this that nature reveals most clearly its cruelty, its balance, and its grandeur.